It's one of them horrible ones, isn't it? I mean, we could, if the goal was given, we'd be stood here saying it shouldn't have been, and vice versa. I felt for the referee, really, because it's a really difficult one to make. When you've got a player who's more or less lying down in the goal mouth, and there's a deflection, and he has to pull his legs away to allow the ball to go into the net, you would have to say, surely he's interfering with play. So for me, I think the referee got it right.
Has a referee ever apologised to you personally for making an error? There have been a few pundits who have told me that they have, particularly when the pundits have already retired, though, not while they're actively playing. But does it happen?
Yeah, it does. I've played in games before where a referee's made a decision, but it normally happens later on in the game if there's a decision being made in the first half and they see it at half-time or whatever. They can maybe say, I got that one wrong. And listen, they're all human and they make mistakes. But with the VAR now, the argument is, should they be making these mistakes?
Players will always appreciate that because, you know, every player during a game will make between 5 and 20 mistakes with a pass, with a touch, with whatever it might be. So referees are no different. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to see things differently than you. So I always appreciated when a referee would come and say, sorry, I saw that this way, and just gave an indication of how he saw things that made it acceptable to you, you know. So, you know, if referees do that, great. I'll be amazed if the referee came out and spoke after this incident, with it being, you know, such a huge decision, and, you know, so late in the game. It made it even bigger.
Well, it's interesting what you're saying there, what he sees, and obviously in a very unique position as a referee on the pitch, and you're saying VAR. The irony being is those two things don't go together. It's not the referee seeing things on VAR, it's another referee, 300 kilometres down the road in Stockley Park.
And how many times do we say it? They've got all the technology, and you've got people at Stockley Park who have got all the cameras and what have you, and the replays, but they're still getting these decisions wrong. That's why it's such a well talked about topic, that human error is still occurring.
That's why I think that, you know, the whole point in VAR is to get the best feel, the best pitches to the on-field referee. The on-field referee is the guy in control of the game. He's refereeing the other decisions. He has the feel of the tempo of the game, and I still don't understand why the referees don't get sent over to look at the VAR hub at the side of the field. Let that referee continue to make the decisions. If he sees things one way, he's going to see it consistently, not through another guy's eyes who's, as we said, could be hundreds of miles away.
Well, here's an idea, because you've just left your club about 3 weeks ago up in Scotland, right? Would you ever consider...
Don't be asking me to start being a ref.
No, honestly.
There's a chance.
Why can't ex-professionals, perhaps not at the highest level because they'll have media commitments like you both have here, but maybe those in the lower divisions who won't get the TV exposure, why can't we see players who have actively played the game, at a professional level at least, be involved in something like this?
I think maybe that's a way to look at it, that you get, you know, former players to be in and around the VAR hub. I mean, you can't ask them to make decisions because the referees go through an awful lot of work to get to where they are, that they're professional in what they do, they understand the laws of the game. But I just think it might help to have a view of a player, you know, a player's eyes, a player's opinions, not to be the final be-all and end-all decision, but just to be able to lean on over certain decisions.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously the experience of a player, I'm sure, would help a referee. But if you remember when we played, the referees come in to training grounds before the start of seasons, and you talk through the new rules. Sometimes they give video clips of decisions and give you ideas of what is going to be a red card or what's coming in the upcoming season. And the amount of arguments it creates where a referee will show you a challenge that he deems to be a red card. And I've been in dressing rooms before where I remember Alan McGregor, the goalkeeper at Hull City for a while when I was there, arguing with the referee who was brought in on that specific occasion. And it was just human error, like what you deem to be a red card, what I deem to be. There's always going to be that grey area, and that is the difficult thing.